I got to thinking the other day about things that I wish I knew before I bought certain items. One of those came to mind was my 54-inch blade. So this is a 54-inch Quickhitch blade. This will fit a number of machines, any machine with a Quickhitch really. But I bought this blade. I was in a bit of a pinch for a blade. The price with the blade and the Quickhitch, I already had a Quickhitch, and the price with the Quickhitch and the blade made it worth my while to go buy it. I've actually had this blade for 2 winters now. I had to do a little bit of work on it when I first got it. Mostly because somebody had worn the wear edge down below the bolts and the bolt holes. They'd already fixed it, but they had not painted it, and there were some other things that I'll show you in the next little bit. So this is really kind of a video, things to look for when you're buying a 54-inch blade. I think that's kind of the best title. In person, this blade does not look that bad in first inspection. I do have a wear bar from Heavy Hitch on the blade. I'm not a big fan of the Squeegee. I know a lot of guys are a fan of the rubber Squeegee or conveyor belt that you can put on. You can buy it from Deere. I'm just not a big fan. I've tried it before on some other blades, and just the type of snow we can get here, specifically in the spring, really just does not warrant putting a Squeegee on. I realize if it's dry snow, it cleans right down to the concrete, but it's just, I don't like it. Personal preference. If you like a Squeegee, hey, that's great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. That's just one of my personal preferences. But I do have, it's not a Deere wear bar. It is a Heavy Hitch wear bar. I know some guys have put on poly wear bars, high density poly wear bars. That seems to be a good fix as long as you're not on a really, really abrasive surface. It seems to be okay. But anyway, that's not beside the point, or that's all beside the point, because what I really wanted to show is what to look for in a blade, and I'll show you what is wrong with this blade. So really, if we kind of walk around it here, first inspection, the first thing you notice, and that I think I can pick this up on camera, is you'll notice that the hitch itself is not straight. That is correct. Somebody, I did not do this, it came to me this way. Somebody hit something hard enough with this blade to bend the entire hitch. It doesn't really present a problem, or it's never presented a problem to me hooking it up or anything. It's just the way it sits. It's like I said, it's not a big issue. The price was right for me. Had it been a normal used price, I would have gone and gotten a brand new blade. That's what I would have preferred. But anyway, you can kind of see, aside from the bar here not being straight compared with the rest of this bar, you can actually see, if we can zoom in here, you can see this area right in here is touching the blade, or almost touching the blade. But if we pan over to this other side, we see this large gap in here that I can actually get my finger in. That's kind of another indication that it's bent. And if we zoom back out, another thing, and I actually didn't even notice any of this until I was home. I was in a bit of, like I said, I was in a bit of a pinch for a blade, so it looked okay. And the wear edge, and I'll show you that in just a minute, was okay. But then you get to looking at it, and let's look down this line right here, and it's nice and straight. And we're going to look down this one, and it's bent down here at the bottom. So somebody had to be going pretty darn fast to hit something and bend this metal plate right here. I haven't been any more in the time that I have owned this blade. But what's really interesting, if you notice that this is bent right here, if we actually look down, let me see if I can get it up in the air a little bit. Oops. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. But if we actually look down this blade, you can see that far end is actually bent out. Additionally, which, I mean, this The bottom edge is not bent, and so I think what happened, or based on what I can figure out, is they hit something with the top of the blade, and that's what bent all of that right there. And you can actually see where that's worn. None of the welds are cracked that I've ever seen. But then, if we go back to wear patterns here, we see that, I have these nice stainless steel bolts that are included with the wear edge from Heavy Hitch right here. And really, what sticks out at you, and I actually had to do a quick repaint on this blade, is because this blade has been repaired. Somebody wore the wear edge past the bottom of the blade, and at some point, a previous owner actually had a bar welded into the bottom here and re-drilled and retapped all of the holes for the bolts. That's a repair. It's a decent repair. There's nothing really wrong with it. At least, it functions fine. Like I said, this is a fully functioning blade. There's nothing wrong with it. But there are little bits and pieces that I wish I knew before I bought it. But anyway, now that I've been yammering for close to 6 minutes, just going to kind of want to go back over the Heavy Hitch wear bar. Like I said, it's a nice quality wear bar. I have 2 years of use on it. Granted, I don't have a big driveway. You can see some of the use I put it through on some of my videos. Anytime it snows, I'm probably going to use it for about 30 to 45 minutes each time. So I don't have put a whole lot of use on it. But, I mean, you can see after 2 winters of use, there's still, a good ½ inch of wear on there. And I can't remember if I measured when I first put this wear bar on there. But anyway, that's just kind of a couple things that I wanted to show you about a 54 blade, and what maybe to look for if you're buying a 54 blade, or planning to use a 54 blade, things to look for. Also, I get a lot of people asking about the skids. In all of my time, I have never put the skids down. That's just never been something I've used. I only use the wear bar. So anyway, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching.